Trump promised on the campaign trail, and I'll remind you of that, to not just be good for the economy and to undo the disaster of Biden, but specifically there was this word. There was a little word that he was fixated on that he promised to do really good for. And it would come up in clips like this. And then I want to show you what we're learning about the failure on this front. So during the campaign and right whenever he got elected, we'd stumble across these clips all too often where he'd forget that a common English word is a common English word. And he would think that like he found it out. And that was the word groceries. And he promised that because he had groceries figured this out, that the affordability crisis was going to be improved under him. Here's a reminder.
I won on two things, the border, and more than immigration. You know, they like to say immigration. I break it down more to the border, but I won on the border and I won on groceries. It's a very simple word, groceries. Like almost, who uses the word? I started using the word, the groceries. When you buy apples, when you buy bacon, when you buy eggs, they would double and triple the price over a short period of time. And I won an election based on that. We're going to bring those prices way down.
So a lot of what we would focus on when we see that is his grasp or lack thereof of this language that we're speaking. Where he would be like, grocery, what the hell is that? It's bacon. Wow, it's bacon and groceries. But much more importantly was that he was promising something very specific, that he was going to lower grocery prices. He was going to address the affordability crisis.
They call it groceries. Bacon, lettuce, tomato,
BLT.
Everything is so much higher than it ever was, and we're going to bring that down, and we're going to do it very simply. We're going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to bring the energy down, and everything's going to come down.
Yeah, so of course, it is funny as he's trying to list out groceries. He's just like, what do I eat? Bacon, lettuce, tomato.
This is turkey time. This is now, we're talking turkey.
But I should note that energy prices in general are going up a lot, in part because of his attack on renewable energy and his tariffs. So what he cited as the path to lower grocery prices, which was energy, he's also failed on, even just the path. And then one other example.
Starting on day one of my new administration, we will end inflation and we will make America affordable again because the prices are too high. The prices are too high.
Starting on day one. One of the reminders. Sorry, I forgot I had this.
It's a very descriptive word. I haven't used the word grocery. It's like an old-fashioned word. The cost of groceries, a word that I used a lot on the campaign. It's like an old-fashioned word, but it's a beautiful word, very descriptive word. He said, you're a kind person.
Now, while I show you what is the truth about this, please do click the subscribe button if you appreciate the show. It is free. And if you want to feel energetic, if you want to feel happy, if you want to feel sexy, if you want to have purpose for the first time in your life, if you want to have meaning for the first time in your life, maybe, this is not scientifically backed, but maybe the path is through PEP, and that you can get at drinkpep.com, my family business. In all seriousness, gut-friendly, removing the disgusting stuff that is in a lot of other energy drinks and instead putting active probiotics, natural ingredients to give you an energy drink that you don't have to feel guilty about drinking. Drinkpep.com. Now, the truth is about Trump's promise, he has completely failed. Grocery. Well, I'm criticizing his usage of that word. I can't botch it. Axios reports grocery inflation highest since 2022 as Trump tariffs pile up. You can see there across, specifically they have listed bacon, lettuce, and tomatoes. But they have different specific categories there. President Trump spent his 2024 campaign promising Americans he'd lower grocery prices. Virtually all major grocery categories are now more expensive than they were a year ago, some substantially so. And specifically, The food at home component of the consumer price index rose 0.6% in August from July. The Bureau of Labor Statistics said on Thursday this was the biggest month-over-month increase since August 2022, the tail end of a year of huge monthly increases in grocery prices. And so he has been failing on that. And I think we should zoom out too to contextualize this with a study that's being reported on here. Study finds Trump to cause income to drop for 99% of Americans. We talked about in the last segment that I think an important framing of the debate is not what is your neighbor insane? Are you going to have your kid non-binaried by your dog walker, but let's stop attacking what is so frequently literally or near a 1% and start attacking the 1%. And that is the top 1%. That is the people who, through funding campaigns and through systematic assault, benefit themselves, attain way more wealth and power, while we're here screaming about all of this different nonsense and making up crises at many points in time. When the real crisis is that as things get less affordable, the American dream becomes less likely for most Americans. Trump, with all of his pro-working class promises, is failing them, and his agenda item that now, because of all that's been going on, has kind of lost its standing in the news cycle. The law that he signed will benefit the very tip top, and everyone else will lose out. And this study is just reaffirming that the Trump administration's policies represent a historic transfer of national wealth and resources to the top 1%. The scope and degree of this take from everyone else to give to the very rich policymaking was revealed in a new study by the Center for American Progress. So it's exactly what we've warned of, and a huge betrayal from him. Then this was just a little bit of a side note, but in his latest bid to reshape the American economy, President Donald Trump has endorsed ending the decades-long practice of public companies sharing their financial results once each quarter. This will save money, he says, and he's no longer going to require that. Just interesting. What's that all about? I don't know. And then one other miscellaneous thing, a U.S.-China deal to avert a TikTok ban may be close. Trump went from wanting to ban TikTok to saying he was going to save it.
This is TikTok.
And they're making a deal. Trump administration officials say they have the framework of a deal to save the popular video app. It had until September 17th to be sold by its Chinese owner, ByteDance, or face a ban in the United States. But that may be subverted, so you'll still have your TikTok. But I will encourage you, try a little, aside from that news, to ignore Cole. No, try a little bit to do other stuff. I'm a little worried. I'm just worried. The young people are getting so online. I just think that we are in a place where people are getting more lonely, then more radicalized, and are not connecting to their fellow people. This is for people above the age of 18, but I did strongly argue that we need to make sex great again. And I think we have a shirt on our merch site, lukebeasleymerch.com, that advertises that, because people are having too much sex with TikTok and not enough sex with each other. But I'm using sex kind of it's kind of an old fashioned word, the way that I'm using it. It's not like the sex that you know. It's like emotional sex. We need to be, I just mean connection. That's what this stands for. See, Misga, make sex great again. The shirt is, and you can get it for the low price of $25. It's bargain for a shirt, but I think it's representative, not necessarily just of sex, but of connection. And if we lose ourselves in TikTok, not that it should be banned, but there are some concerns, but I understand the arguments against it. If we lose ourselves online, and we see darker examples of that actually right now in the news of radicalization that happens online, doesn't mean we're going to cut these sources off completely, but be mindful and go have emotional sex with people all over the place. Spread your emotional seed everywhere. Emotionally.